Hello, hello, hello. A very timely start for a very timely fixture. Didn't expect it to be as dramatic as it was, and I didn't think there would be as many talking points as there would be, but my goodness me, was that an eventful game. Grizz, bit dramatic for a relaxing Thursday evening.
Yeah, do you know what? Thursday nights, they're supposed to be nice and relaxing, a chance to see your squad, a chance to see any budding youngsters. And the way we're going, we've seen plenty of them, but we wanted to see more of them. And then obviously there was if Mo gets a few minutes, if Sabozlai gets a few minutes, it turned out to be quite an eventful night. And on reflection, I'm a bit calmer now. Like I literally stopped watching from when Konate went off. I was like, my mood just went. I just
Heartbroken.
couldn't finish my dinner, bro. That's serious things for me. Serious things. But now some people have abused me up on Twitter and everything. I'm a bit better now. Once you get abused a bit and people tell you to shut the F up and calm down, yeah, I'm a bit calmer now. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. Obviously, so much to get through. But yeah, we're gonna try to get into it.
Yeah, man. Ish. How you doing, man? It was quite the evening, right? I'm sure there were highs and lows throughout.
Yeah, man. First of all, starting at 5:45 is just long anyway. You're trying to wrap work up, trying to start dinner and all of that. So that was already annoying. Then we get a perfect result, but then obviously bits in the game happen which are not so great. But yeah, word to Gattuso, man. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit, but we'll take the good.
I think this is quite funny. It's true though, isn't it? Can't remember ever being this subdued, annoyed. I don't know how you want to talk.
After a win,
describe it.
Yeah, you're right.
Like a 5-1 win, Fahi. 5-1
Yep,
away in Europe. Are we? Is that the quarterfinals now we're in?
No,
Is
last 16.
Last 16.
Yeah.
And we're feeling like this.
No, wait. If we win,
Yeah,
we win, we go in. Yeah.
We
go
into the quarters. Yeah.
That's what I mean. We're in the quarterfinals, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Come on, Ish. Get with the program. We're in the quarterfinals.
Well, pretty much 1 foot.
What?
1 foot.
Are
you
you
never know,
mad?
bro.
Are you mad? You're living up to your reputation.
Ish, you've got one toe left. Don't call it 1 foot. You've got a toe left.
Yeah, man.
We're through. Bro.
Come on, we got hamstrings and quads and toes and everything.
Us four could play next week and we will still go through, man.
They are a bad outfit. They're a bad outfit of a football team.
Fahi, tell me how you doing? How you been?
Yeah, I've been good, man. I've been good. I expected to tune in and see like a scrappy 2-1, 1-1, 2-2 kind of game. And listen, we dismantled them with so much ease. Literally, it was like men against boys, to be honest. And we could have scored 8 or 9 if we really, really wanted to go for it. Obviously, we're going to speak about some of the injury concerns and scares. But for the most part, because I don't have any confirmation on injuries as of yet, I'm floating. So I'm very happy.
Nice. Before we do get cracking, Grizz is already sharing them. I want to welcome everyone in the comment section. Get involved. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We were complaining about a 5:45. I saw a 4 a.m. there. People logging in as well and watching the game. So, yeah, worldwide, thank you very much for joining us. I want to get straight into, I guess this time the lineup is going to be super interesting, right? Because we were all probably guessing different lineups. I remember the last time we talked on the show, we were talking about, maybe we're going to go weak because this is the one game that's disposable. Fahi, far from weak. We went for it with that lineup. What do you think Klopp had in mind? Was it one of those where he cares a lot about the competition? Was it one of those where this is the best squad available? Where do you think Klopp's mind was at?
Yeah, I was really surprised, bro. And even like looking at that 11, you could argue that's a better 11 than the one that we had in the Carabao Cup final. So, like, you look at the strength of that team, and you're like, you know what? That's a strong team. Obviously, without Van Dijk, it's a different story. But just in general, it was a very strong team. I would have thought a few more of the youngsters would have played. I was sure Clark was going to start and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. But I understand it now. Like after you see the method to the madness and you see what the madness actually was and what it leads to, you look at it and you're like, you know what? This now allows us to rest next Thursday, and the United game, which we were potentially throwing away, we're not throwing away anymore. We can go there strong and just go for it.
Yeah, I hear you. And I guess the whole notion of that was, the league City is not a guaranteed win, even if you do rest all those players, whereas United is a knockout game of a competition we could potentially win. I mean, Ish, in terms of the players that started, were there any in particular that you were really surprised by seeing?
Probably just Harvey Elliott, just based on like the amount of games he's played recently. Obviously played 120 in the cup final. He started the Southampton game as well.
He's going through a Pedri type run at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah. He's going through it, man. And even though you could say the performance levels have been a bit up and down, I guess you got to respect the just the endeavor and the kind of willingness to put the shirt on and kind of play through. So that was a surprising one for me. Obviously, hindsight's a beautiful thing as well. But even looking at the Konate thing as well, I was thinking before the game, is he gonna start? Is he gonna really start Konate again? Six games in 19 days. I don't know if it would have been better to maybe start Van Dijk, take him off at halftime, but you don't know. Imagine Van Dijk pulled up. That would be even more of a stay at the moment. So you just don't really know. But yeah, other than that, no surprises really. I kind of see why he went strong. Like we've been saying before, Ty's pretty much done now, so we can kind of look forward.
I'm sorry you have to butt in.
Yeah.
But, I've just got a text of someone I do trust. He's at the game actually, and he's actually basically he's a journalist, and he said Klopp's told him precautionary, but we still have to see.
With Konate or with Gomez?
Konate.
Okay. I mean, the last.
Sorry, I had to butt in, Ish. I'm so sorry.
No.
That's how much this. I'm on edge, brothers. I'm on edge, brothers. I'm on edge. Konate.
I love Ish. I love Ish, but what you had to say was more important than what Ish had to say.
Bro, if it was one guy, man.
Breaking news. That's breaking news. I hear it.
But no, Ish, carry on. Sorry, we will definitely get into the Konate stuff. But yeah, in terms of Andrew Roberts, the choice of fullbacks, obviously we've seen a lot of Conor Bradley. We've seen some of Tsimikas coming back in. Were you surprised to see Gomez and Robertson starting too?
Not really. I guess just from more like a leadership point of view, Robertson's one of the he obviously led the team out tonight. You don't want to go too young for these games. Like the atmosphere, you got to big them up, even when they were getting slapped 4-0, 4-1.
Yeah, crowd was active, man.
Yeah, they were going for it. So you do want some experienced heads out there. And obviously Bradley's played a lot of minutes recently. So I think he's probably going to start on Sunday, I would imagine. Especially now Konate's injured. Gomez probably going to go centre back if he's fit. So Bradley's definitely going to start. So it's important to rest him as well. And then Robertson pretty much just come back from injury as well. So kind of needs minutes in the tank.
Yeah, I hear you. Grizz, you can probably unshare the lineup now because
sorry.
No, don't. So let's go straight into the game. Grizz, goal straight away, bit of sharpness, bit of pressing. What did you think of that first 5-10 minutes?
It was Kelleher show, man. It was like it was very similar to Real Madrid Leipzig. I mean, obviously we scored the goal. We pressed them in their half. I don't think they're used to the intensity of a Liverpool press. They're used to in their league, whatever, fair play to them, whatever. But we really pressed them in that opening couple of minutes. We won the ball about a minute earlier as well, when Nunez should have scored. Come on, guys. He rounds the keeper and he just slices it. But a couple of minutes later, McAllister again press. Our front six were pressing them very intensely in that opening few minutes before they got any rhythm. And McAllister with I don't know about you guys, I never had any issues or dramas. No doubts. Yeah. That's it. I knew he was going to score. Unlike some other penalty takers for Liverpool. But with him, I was calm.
Yeah. I hear you. But I guess the weird thing with that is that we scored, and then Fahi, we share a group chat, and you were very, very eager to share your thoughts on what you thought was a very generous Liverpool defense in terms of letting shots at Kelleher. What were you thinking?
Yeah, no, I think ultimately my point was in the past few games, we've seen Kelleher has had to make a lot of saves, right? A lot of saves, more than the average Liverpool keeper has to do. And again, tonight he came in clutch, man. He was making save after save after save. I tweeted off the KopEnd account. It was like we had Stretch Armstrong in goal. No matter where the ball went, he was finding a way to reach it. I think I could think of 3 saves in the first half, which should have gone in and Sparta should have scored. But yeah, just in general, my only worry with that the positive is obviously he made those saves and fantastic for us. My only worry is we keep conceding high quality chances to the opposition, and there's only so long our keeper can keep on saving us from these situations. Like right now, the odds are so far in our favor when it comes to a save. At some point, it has to level out, and I'm just worried when it's going to level out because it's going to have to happen at some point. The law of averages. But yeah, obviously Kelleher did a great job. Our defense was all over the place. I think our midfield was just getting bypassed. I don't even think that's anything to do with Endo and Mac, to be honest. The kind of passes Sparta were making, obviously, they were using the flank quite a bit. And they had some tricky players on the left and the right-hand side. And they knew what they were doing. They'd go down, pull it back, and that's where we kind of fall apart every single time. But yeah, overall, Kelleher saved us, man.
I mean, Fahi's touched on this. This was really, really frustrating me. I feel maybe I'm going insane here, but I feel like all you need to do right now when you're playing against Liverpool is you have to have the ball out wide. And as long as you run off the ball, you are guaranteed to receive that pass. It will not get cut off and no one will cut that cross off either. What is up with the ease at which you can break free and break in behind Liverpool out wide? I'm not going to complain about the middle because I don't think any attacks are happening through the middle at the moment. But what is going on in these fullback areas right now?
It's hard with the system that we play. Like, even though Trent's not in the team at the moment and not inverting, we still have Konate occupying that whole right-hand side pretty much on his own. There was even one point, I think it might have been their first chance. He ends up on the left-hand side with Konza as well. Konza gets caught out. Konate ends up covering the left, and there's no one in the middle. So it's just like, with how high our line is and how high we press up, we're always going to be kind of vulnerable in behind, especially when our centre-backs are covering the middle areas and the wide areas as well. So I do want to give a certain amount of leeway on the chances that we do concede, because I do think that's just the way we play. City also concede a lot of chances with the way they press. You're looking at the moment, Arsenal probably the only team that.
Oh, he's got his hand up. Ish, it must be whenever you talk.
Sorry, Ish. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I have to interrupt you again. And another Jurgen Klopp quote that's just come out from our good friend Paul Gorst. He's basically said that Ibu said to me, if I do another sprint, it could be set. It should be fine, but we don't know. Joe Gomez is fine. Played a lot, rotation. So let's see with Ibu.
Okay.
Sounds better.
Sorry.
Look at Grizz. Look at him. He's like, look at him. He's like a kid and eat. Look how happy he is.
Bro, man. I can't explain. I mean, I don't.
They were both injured.
Bro, if Konate and Gomez are injured and like against Man City, and you're talking about conceding chances against Sparta Prague, what's Man City gonna do, bro? You know what I mean? I'm switched on now. Do
you know what, Grizz? I want to address this directly. Can you share what our friend Rev Footballer said? It is okay.
Where's the negativity?
No, it is okay. It is okay to ask the team.
This reputation you lot got, man, is KopEndFracas. I'm gonna become your media manager, man.
But I don't understand.
I don't know where it's come from, man. I get messages about KopEndFracas boys, man, on your chat.
He must be trolling.
This is very weird. You lot, listen.
It's not my burner.
Now, let me have a minute here. Listen, we are having a conversation discussing the game, okay? Not everyone did 10 out of 10. It's impossible to have 11 players on the pitch playing 10 out of 10. There are moments where people will make errors, and we will discuss that.
Apparently, Christian players that play bad is negative.
Wait, should we lie?
Who do we criticize?
Everyone was great, man. 10 out of 10. Good YouTube, guys. See you later. What? Come on, guys. Come on.
Guys, we support the team. We want everyone to be amazing. That is fine. If everyone's happy with conceding 10 shots on target, maybe I'm watching a different sport. But fair enough.
Game's gone, man. The game's gone.
The game...
Soft. The game's too soft.
Standards, man. Standards. Come on. But let's get on to... I even need to remember the order of these goals.
Yeah, you need to get it out, man. I was thinking you might not remember the order because there were so many goals.
There were so many, and there were
McAllister first, and then Nunez cutting.
Yes,
I was going to say top corner, but the keeper.
So this was interesting, right? Because I mean, we saw like Nunez received it in that corner of the box Coutinho area a few times prior to this goal. And I thought, is he going to go for it? Because we remember the Bournemouth goal and stuff like that. It's weird, really, because I felt the commentators played down how great a strike it was just because it was quite central. Yes, the keeper might have done better, but the height and dip he got on the shot, surely it was a great effort.
Thing is, we know he's got it in his locker, like you said. We saw it with the Bournemouth goal as well. Very similar in that it wasn't in the corner, but it was perfectly placed right under the bar. Like, that can hit the bar, that can get skied over. We've seen a couple of our players recently try those and it hasn't quite gone in. So you got to give him props first and foremost for the finish. And listen, we clown him when he's missing easy chances. So we got to big him up as well when he's scoring from like 25 yards out, top corner. Like
law of averages, man. Law of averages.
Yeah. So we got to kind of balance it out a bit with what we're saying on it. Even though the goalkeeper was very fugazi, I think it's the way he kind of dived past it and then kind of still let it go over his arm. But first and foremost, if you don't shoot, you don't score, and it's a good shot. So
I'd just like to say that I thought it was a fantastic chance by Darwin, and I feel like his shot was so powerful that the keeper had no chance of saving it. So that was just brilliant work by Darwin. 10 out of 10 from him.
Chris, anyone else you'd like to give 10 out of 10 to you know?
Kelleher. I think Kelleher's the actual possibly 10. I mean, I know he concedes, but even our own boy scores. So in that way, Kelleher didn't let
that was impossible to stop anyway, right?
Kelleher didn't let I keep calling him Slavia, Sparta Prague score. So for me, he gets a 10. I just thought, look, and you're right. I think Fahy was mentioning earlier, he's coming in clutch for us. What did we want from him? We wanted him to show the form that we've seen and we've believed that we've got one of the best number 2s around. And he's showing it again. He had a little bit of a rough patch because he hadn't played much. And we even said he needs rhythm. Every player, every role needs rhythm. Whatever role you play, you need rhythm. Kelleher has been clutch, guys. I already think he's better than Alisson with the ball at his feet. And I've been saying it for ages. He just needed to have bring that aura. And you know what? Some of those saves, guys, they were so Alisson-esque. They were they could have been Alisson, them saves.
Yeah, his 1v1s are amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. And that's what his weakness was, I feel. I thought his one-on-ones he becomes quite, like Mignolet used to shrink. It almost seemed like when players were going through. Like Kelleher was similar, but now, I don't know, maybe the confidence, maybe shout out Taffarel, our goalkeeping coaches, man, and John Achterberg, maybe they're doing work behind the scenes with him to instill that confidence, that belief, and I'm sure a lot of coaching as well. And that's what we're seeing right now. He shouldn't have been that busy, but he was, and he done amazing.
I think the one thing that, Ross is spot on there. The one thing that Kelleher's really learning is that Alisson effect of thinking an attacker has no chance of scoring and there's no angle available. Kelleher's really mastered that. And one thing that I really want to give Kelleher credit for is that thing you were saying, Grizz, in terms of presence, like belonging, feeling like you control the box rather than looking to senior players. It very much feels like Kelleher is growing into this leader of the team. I don't know if it's the fact that it's now confirmed that Alisson's out for a majority of the season. Kelleher knows.
No. Yeah, it's not majority, but yeah.
Yeah, as in, however, it's a sustained period of time. So that means Kelleher knows that, this isn't a one-off game. I need to build these relationships for the long term. And I think that's super healthy. Now, I do want to talk about not just the goal for the third one, but Ish, we'll come back to you for this.
Can you remind us, please?
Huh?
Can you remind us what was the third one?
Yeah. So the third one,
the dink from McAllister.
Yeah. The third one was super interesting because McAllister kind of juggled the ball between his feet. I thought he was going to pass it short because Elliott had come short for the ball. And then he clipped it over into space that I could not see at all. And I don't know what it was, but when the ball set up like that, I genuinely thought Darwin was guaranteed to score, which is an insane flip of where we are with Darwin. Fahy, you sound confident with with how you felt as well. What was it about that chance that you thought, you know what, it's going to be a goal?
You know what it was like, because I like to like shoot, like I like to finish in five-a-side as well. You know, when a ball bounces perfectly, that ball was bouncing so perfectly in front of Nunez, and Nunez was just looking at it, eyeing it up, and he had enough space in front of him. And I was like, look, he's very good on his half shots and his volleys as well. This is bounced up perfectly, enough space. He's gonna hit it sweet. There was enough space between him and the goal.
Right? That's a big thing.
The connection is always so sweet. Sometimes it's just that he's either too far out or too close by. This one just seemed perfect. And the moment the bounce came in front of him, I was like, yeah, he's going to swoop it in. And that's exactly what he did. Just nestled into the left-hand side of the goal. Fantastic finish. And again, this is what we as Liverpool fans deserve after all the misses from last season, where he would connect the exact same way, but just hit the post. Or the goalkeeper would save it. And you think, how the hell has that been missed? How was that saved?
Fahi, do you remember in the first Merseyside derby he played?
The one that Pickford tipped onto the bar where he hit it across the bar. It was like Torres against Blackburn, that same shot.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
But even this one today,
guys, like how Darwin smashed the ball in twice. Can you smash the like button? Over 200 of you guys in here, and not 70 likes. Like, are you lot taking a piss or something?
What's going on, guys?
Yeah,
What's
come
going
on.
You want to see?
We're feeling better now. We're feeling better now. Come on.
How about that?
Say again.
Crazy.
I said you want some positivity. How about you?
Yeah.
You know what I
Show
mean?
us some positivity, innit?
Yeah, man. What's going on? We got a toxic relationship with the listeners. What's going on? Ish, go on. So, I mean, you've had a one would say complex relationship with Darwin Nunez.
I want to hear.
You
this.
are surely in a place where the Darwin coin is going up by the second, surely.
Listen, I said a few weeks ago, like, from now, I'm just gonna leave him to it, man. I'm gonna leave him to it. At the moment, he's doing well. I can't get onto him. At the moment, he's doing well.
27 goals and assists with 2 months to go. 3 months.
Crazy.
2 months to go.
Very good.
Crazy.
He's got. I'm looking for me. It's obviously great. He scored in Europa. I'm looking at his league form. He's got 10 goals, 7 assists. If he can end on 15 goals, 10 assists, beautiful. Love that. We'll take that. We'll take that into the next season. And then going back to this finish today, I think who was it? Was it Marseille? Torres scored that goal against I think it might have been Europa League as well, like 2008. I want to say similar kind of finish as well. You know, when it sits up like that, like you guys have said, great connection with it. So listen, it's great performance today, man. Another good performance, and I think he's gonna do something big on Sunday.
Can I just add?
He's loading one up on Sunday.
I just want to add for Darwin.
Chicken burger on me, bro, if that happens.
He's got
for everyone or for just Ish?
No, just Ish, bro. Yeah.
What?
You need to be more positive.
Here we go. So here's my positive spin on this. Last 10 Darwin games, 8 goals, 3 assists. That boy has been cooking. And the one game that he didn't score was the Chelsea game. One of the 2 games was the Chelsea game where he had about 12 shots and he should have scored 3. So it just shows you how good he has been since the turn of this year.
Do you know what I like about it though? Sorry, Mush. I was just going to say, do you know what is, guys? I like the way, even though he's a madman and he's still young and his new club and everything, you know, when we knew Salah's out for a long time and Jota's out for a long time, I like the way he's assumed seniority as well. Like him and Diaz have said, yo, looked around and said, yo,
we're going to do our thing.
We have to do our thing here. We haven't got the king and we haven't got the gunman. You know what I mean? So we have to step up. And both of them, even though the performances haven't been liquid, right, from either of them, the output has been there. And at this stage of the season, you need output.
Yeah. I think so. And I think the other thing is, all of us, when we watch Darwin now, there's never a problem with touch, with hold up, with link up. He's very much part of everything we do. We're not almost playing in spite of Darwin. We're playing well because of Darwin. And everything, any chance we have on Sunday is going to be so dependent on Darwin stretching, you know, the City centre-backs, getting in behind. I would love it if he is the one who decides that game, because I think that would show so much growth in terms of where he is. And I think I'd love it to be a composed chance that he takes as well, just to show kind of he's come full circle as well. But let's talk about some of the other attackers as well, because, you know, there was plenty going on. Let's talk about Diaz, guys. I think something I did say last episode that I really enjoyed about Diaz. Fahi's been pushing the fact that Diaz is he needs to build some better relationships, or he doesn't have consistent people with him. One thing that Diaz is doing now is that he's going towards players he has a better relationship with. He still doesn't have things like language with him and things like that. So what do you see now? He drifts inside. He receives the ball a lot off McAllister. He 1-2s it a lot with Darwin. Fahi, surely there's no surprise that he's buzzing and working off the teammates he's probably going to be most familiar with at the moment.
100%. And I think the other thing that's really cool with him right now is he's always asking to receive the ball and do something with it. He's trying to get it, move it again. Whereas before, he'd be stuck on the flank and, he'd wait for it and then he'd wait for someone to overlap him. Right now, he's not doing that. He's taking the ball into his own feet and deciding, okay, you know what? Pass it to me here. I'm going to go here, pass it to you there, and he'll move about. He's constantly moving about, which is the best thing he could possibly do. And yeah, I think that's worked in our favor because defenders don't know how to track him anymore. The right back is thinking, okay, this is who I'm facing today. But then Diaz will pop up centrally, and then he'll pop up right where the DM should be. So he's all over the pitch, and that's working really, really well. And I think based off maybe he's lost a yard of pace, right? I think this is probably the better route for him, where he's just touching it about here and there and just trying to find a pocket of space to move into rather than staying on the left and trying to wait for a moment of magic.
And speaking of magic, I mean, we saw, and I don't want this to be forgotten because it's easy to pile on the criticism on Diaz. We saw a gorgeous early pass through to Gakpo to put him through 1-on-1 as well. Like the timing and the weight of that ball, that's what we want to see from a player as talented as Diaz, right?
Listen, his quality has actually never been in doubt. It's just been like putting it together this season, and there's been times he's kind of ghosted through games a little bit, but he's in a good spot at the moment. And even though he got a goal today, I'd say he's in a good spot without even having stats to back it up. Like he's actually just playing well, definitely changing up his game a little bit, and kind of adjusting to. I think before the season, we just seen him trying to take on a man, it wasn't working, and then we weren't really seeing much else. But like you said, he's starting to just get it and pop it off a bit quicker, which has been good to see. And yeah, the quality for that ball through for Gakpo, we need more of that. We definitely need more of that, especially with like the likes of Trent being out the side. It's nice to see him, McAllister, those guys stepping up and like taking on the playmaker role a little bit. Because the thing when Trent's always out, we're like, oh, how are we going to create chances?
Yeah,
5 today, 4 the other day, 3 the other day as well. So we're in a good spot at the moment. And guys like Diaz have actually been impressed with how he stepped up recently.
You know, LFC Aaron says he would be a great 10. I know he did. I know he done that brilliant pass. But do you think if he was a 10, guys, do you think it would take away his natural game, which is to create? I don't know how to word this.
I know what you're trying to say, but no, do you know why I don't think that, Grizz? Because I think the way Diaz would play number 10 is the same way Sterling played number 10 when he played in the 13-14 Liverpool team.
Okay.
Where it was all about weaving in between. Sterling wasn't a great passer. He was a 17-year-old kid. It was all about, can you take people out the game? Can you drag people towards you so you can free up someone else? I think he can be that. And I think his best moments this season have been when he's done that.
So are we saying like from winger, like
to the tip of the diamond,
we want him to go through the central a bit more?
I can see that. Actually.
I'm not mad. I mean, the one thing I did want to ask is, do you think a role like that is beneficial against a team like City? That's what I want to know from you guys.
What for Sunday?
So the way Diaz is playing at the moment and where he's getting joy, kind of coming inside.
Oh, you mean generally, or not this Sunday particular?
Well, this Sunday is where we're going to see if it happens. Okay. Do you think that's where we can get any joy? Do you not think so far?
No, I don't think, and that's not to say we shouldn't play Diaz. I think we should play Diaz, but I don't think what Diaz is doing currently is going to bring us much joy on Sunday, purely because of how narrow City are as a team anyway. Especially when they defend, they are quite a narrow team. So if that's the pockets of space that he's going after, I personally don't think he's going to get much luck. I think the best way to get at City is stretching their defense as much as possible. So that is the kind of game where we really want Darwin and Diaz to go at them as much as possible, try and break the lines as much as possible, and get through and goal. I don't think it's a game of he needs to be more central and try and find pockets of space.
Okay, cool. I do listen. The fearful negative chat. I don't want to go into it, but this is going to be a conversation we have to have because he's an important squad member. I personally thought the pass I talked about from Diaz through to Gakpo, I thought Gakpo did fantastically to turn his man inside out. I actually thought he just needed to pass the ball into the far post. I don't know why he went back towards the keeper. There was also a moment from Gakpo, if you guys remember, in about the 15th minute. He was on the right touchline. He flicked it over someone's head, beat two other players, and was right. Guys, we talk about it every week. If that was the 90 minutes or, we saw 10 moments like that from Gakpo, we would have a world beater on our hands. What do you think we can do to get more of that Gakpo?
Play him in a position consistently, because today's game was an example. He played through the middle. He played as a false nine, dropping deep into midfield. That incident that you're talking about, the moment of brilliance, was out on the right wing. Chopping and changing him, guys. Like, he needs to be settled down into a role, or we just have to accept that he's a utility forward and he has moments of brilliance.
Oh, and Grizz, let's not forget the turn and snapshot he took when he was inside the box as well.
Literally, I was going to say, so that snapshot, I think he's the best at. Probably Jota, probably better than him only, right? That bit of skill, or that style of shooting that he does. But, it's frustrating though, because you're right. How do we get more of that Gakpo as opposed to some of the Gakpo we thought, what are you doing? It's easier to pass it or score. But he has got it in him, I believe. And that's the main thing, I guess.
Okay, interesting. Chris saying it's bad form. I mean, we've seen. I guess Grizz is right. The one thing that's been consistent about Gakpo is his inconsistency in terms of where he's being played. So we, of course, have a lot of context for why it might be hard to build up any kind of form. What is it that you think is realistic for him to be doing better? Because ultimately, he finds himself 4th or 5th in the pecking order. It's not going to suddenly become 1st or 2nd. So what can he do when he's getting these moments, which will fill you with more confidence?
Look, like we've got 5 forwards, and it's impossible to have them all fit and firing at the same time. You're always going to have one who's slightly out of form. My only concern is that I would say Gakpo is the one this season who hasn't had like a big purple patch. You'll say Nunez now is going through one. Diaz even had a little spell when he was banging goals, and I feel like Gakpo's not really had that purple patch where he's had 4 or 5 games where he's been on red hot form. But like Grizz said, he plays different positions pretty much every game. But from the only thing that I find frustrating with him is because I rate him so highly, it's just that in game sometimes he just tends to drift. That's the only thing about him that I'm like, can you come and try and get on the ball a bit more? Because when he turns and drives, he's one of the best in the team at that. And in transition as well, he's good. So it's not basically you ask what can we do to get more out of him. I think he just needs to actually get out of himself pretty much and try and get involved in games more. Like, I just feel like wherever he's playing, he's always on the periphery. If it's on the right, then the play always seems to be going down the left more and vice versa. I just feel like he's always on the edge of it a little bit, but it's not a question of quality. I don't really look at him and think, has he got enough to make it here? He's definitely like in the right place, but I just need a bit more personality from him on the pitch. I think that'll be the main thing, just a bit more personality. I think he can kind of show his talent off a bit more, but he just seems like a calm guy. He just seems like he's not really like when he gets hooked, he's like, yeah, cool, whatever. Like I don't really see that bite from him, but
I think it's coming though. I'm seeing more of it though. I know what you mean, and I agree on the general, but I think the more he's playing with these fighters, and the rest of them are all animals pretty much, right? Diaz, Salah, Jota, Nunez, they're just a different breed. And you're right, he's a bit more of the calmer, chilled, relaxed kind of guy, but I think it'll rub off on him. Can I address this super chat? Imika says, Grizz, I'm taking you and a lot of our fan base to court on the Saturday calling show. Tried telling you about my man Starwin. Speak soon. You never walk alone. Bro, I don't know. What did I say about Darwin? I don't know. Maybe. All right. Speak soon. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate
I
that.
think we're all happy to be sentenced, man. I
Bro,
don't mind at all. I don't mind at all. Come and
doing
score.
time for Darwin.
Yeah, happily.
But big up in my car for the super chat. Thank you.
I think we can talk about half time now, because this is probably the big debate that's been happening, right? And I'm sure the comments have lots to say about this as well. Some people are calling it serious mismanagement. Some people are saying you should know your squad members. Some people are saying everyone's big, it's wisdom in hindsight, and you could never predict these things. I would love to know, you guys and everyone in the comments, what you think of, halftime happens, Konate comes back out, and within 4 minutes he goes down. Was it gross mismanagement to play him for what I guess Konate was going to come off in the hour anyway? Where do you guys sit? Fahi, go on.
All right. I think it's very easy to say that Konate should have come off at halftime and you split the load between him and Virgil, right? My point here is, again, I'm not speaking for Klopp, but I'm just seeing it from my lenses, my eyes. Sparta was still trying to attack us as much as possible. They had legs, they had pace, right? We knew clear as day in the second half they were going to try and get at us straight away. Now, do me as a Liverpool fan, do I want Konate having to deal with that? Or do I want Virgil having to deal with that and potentially risking an injury? Me personally, I would risk Konate for the 15 minutes in the second half and then bring on Virgil after Sparta have blown themselves out, gassed themselves out. Then it's like, cool, Virgil, come and just seal the deal. That's how I personally see it. I know everyone is saying, it should have been 45 Konate, 45 Virgil. But my thing is, what if Virgil went to chase that ball that Konate did and he pulled up? Now, between the two, I know which one. Obviously, I don't want any of them injured.
Oh, you know who you'd rather see injured?
Exactly. I know who I'd rather have on Sunday. So me personally, I don't think Klopp has done anything wrong. But I can understand what some people are saying. But like a few people are saying as well, you can't win. It's just unfortunate.
This is so interesting. We've got terms. Total Eclipse saying gross misconduct.
Yeah. Calm down, bro. Come on.
Grizz. I mean, there's a lot of, we're all tense about Sunday. So any decision, any kind of spanner in the works is impactful for us. Where do you sit on this and how it unfolded?
Yeah, I was reactionary because of the tense nature of Sunday and where we were at and how we were feeling. So I was fuming instantly. And Fahi's made sense in what he said. Like, if a team's already warm and they're already in the rhythm, so to speak, players have played 45 minutes and Konate's, go out there and just weather the first 5-10 minutes of the storm that's going to ensue, as opposed to Virgil being cold and starting fresh.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I think for me personally, I would know in my head if I was Jurgen Klopp, and obviously this is the hindsight and why is after the thing, right? This part, what I'm about to say. I would in my head know who I'm going to play Sunday. Whether it's going to be Gomez, whether it's going to be Konate, it's going to be Konate, but whether it's going to be Gomez. The fact that he brought off Gomez and Gomez is not injured indicates to me that he's thinking about Gomez for the weekend. Because if Gomez was not going to play on the weekend, I would have preferred Gomez to stay centre half
and see out the game
and see and take off Konate though. So you don't have to bring on Verge yet. Just switch Gomez into centre back if Gomez isn't playing Sunday. Do you follow what I've said too much?
But is he thinking of Gomez to play left back on Sunday? Because our left back played 90 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm just thinking.
Oh, so you weren't saying centre back?
No.
It can't be centre back.
Sorry. I forgot to add that bit. Yeah. Yes.
I thought right back. I thought you meant instead of Bradley.
No. Bradley's been rested, I think, 100% for that role.
To play.
I think, and it's just reaction.
No, I see it. I agree. I can see what you're saying.
I mean, but Either way, I wanted Konate because we know he's prone to muscle injuries. And the way he pulled up, I thought he's a goner because he didn't chase the man. So imagine a man's going through and you can't run no more. That's dangerous to me, man. That's like you can't run anymore. But we have to take the man's word for it. If Klopp says, you know what I mean, he should be okay, or we don't know yet, it should be like it's positive. We have to accept it.
I feel better now. I know that Gomez is all right though, because if we lost both of them.
Yeah, Kwanzaa is not ready for a game like that, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
But what do we think about that situation then? I guess is crucial. Like, what do we think about that left back?
Are we? I guess the comments want us to talk about it. Are we going to have an honest conversation about Robertson, or are we going to give him 10 out of 10? You tell me.
No, I mean, not 10 out of 10, but he's getting back into it, guys. I don't want to jump on his neck again.
I don't either. But
he's getting back into it. No, but fine, you say that reaction, but it's true. How many times have we just said they need rhythm? They need play. It's only his second game back.
Grizz, I completely agree. I think the only thing I thought that what I wasn't happy with how Robertson approached the game was that when you're getting back into rhythm, what you probably shouldn't be doing is running out to engage the ball and vacate your position constantly, because that pass I kept saying where people running off Robertson, that it just kept happening. And just running towards the ball cannot be your only way of defending. I think Andrew Robertson has been the best fullback in the world since he's been at Liverpool. So there's no doubt in terms of how I see his quality. But I thought his approach, yeah, there you go. Brandon's spot on. We've got a new way of playing, which doesn't just mean running at full pelt towards the ball. And in terms of getting this rhythm, at the end of the day, we have a lot of games, right? So does the rhythm need to come at a crunch game against Man City? Or is it that there can be lots of games coming after that where you get that rhythm anyway?
Yeah, this is the talking. I agree with this part 100%. It's a call.
I would start Gomez on Sunday. Just more on the fact that I think I felt safer this season, weirdly enough, with Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, and Gomez. That's where I felt safest. Trent's my guy, but I can only say what I see. That's where I felt safest this season. I think a game like City, Foden's in the red hot form at the moment. Whichever wing he starts on is going to be problems. If he starts on the right, do you want him to play against Robertson, who's going to be vacating a lot of space? I feel a bit more secure with Gomez at the back. But listen, we can't forget either. Robertson missed over 20 games for us. That's for a guy, especially
it's not his fault, right?
No, it's not his fault at all. He's built on rhythm. He's built on just having consistent runs. But I think personally for Sunday, yeah, I'd go. Listen, exactly what Brandon said. I'd go Gomez left back because he's going up against probably the form player in the league at the moment.
I think it's going to be related to the Konate situation, right, guys? Because the other question I would have in my head is, if, and God forbid, if he's out, are you throwing Kwanzaa in there or are you throwing Joey G in there? Centre back.
It's not fair on Kwanzaa. Honestly,
Really?
It's not fair on Kwanzaa.
You're bottling it.
Is it bottling to not put him up against Erling Haaland in the most important game?
Can I say one thing?
Did he play at Etihad? Just quickly. Did Kwanzaa play at Etihad?
Someone will know in the chat. Check it out, please.
I think he might have.
I think he might have done it.
Okay, so
no way.
So whilst you guys say that, all I'd say is Kwanzaa versus someone who is a little bit more static with their movement isn't necessarily that. Like, listen, I know he's the best finisher in front of the box, but in terms of movements behind goal, behind the defense, I think Kwanzaa could actually have an okay game versus him. Yeah, personally, I think Kwanzaa could actually do okay. But believe in the kid, man.
Against Haaland. You don't want Haaland to put him on a poster and then just.
I get it. I do get it.
In the biggest game of the season, like you just don't want to put that pressure on someone unnecessarily. I know we're doing it with Bradley. That's another thing as well. If he starts next to Bradley. So you're going to have
that's obviously a different situation.
KDB pulling into that space. Haaland pulling
Bernardo,
into that space.
Foden.
Brother, come on.
They love doing that as well. They love doing it. Do you remember when Milner played there at right back and they
were all going there?
They overloaded.
And I think the big thing here is that City are probably the best team I've ever seen at, if they spot a chink in your armor, the way they like overload that area and capitalize on it, it is not fair on a 19 or a 20-year-old kid for that to be, there are steps. It's like Ish is saying, there are steps in your career you take to get to that moment. To break into this Liverpool first team and basically be third choice now is a huge achievement for Kwanzaa anyway. He doesn't need to pass the Haaland test yet, man. Honestly, it's cool if that doesn't happen. But Fahi, I'm interested to know, we can kind of naturally transition into, well, actually, it's only fair we talk about some of the people who came on.
Yeah, finished the game, yeah.
They were
carried away. Obviously, Konate injury. Obviously, this is what happened like in real life.
It's so important. You just want to talk about City, right?
I know.
But Fahi, in terms of two players that came on, both got the ball in the net. One counted, one didn't. It was great to see two senior players in Szoboszlai and Salah come onto the pitch and have an effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. I think, I had a feeling that Mo would score, and in my head he did score, because I'm baffed as to how you can call that offside where Gakpo is not interrupting play there at all. Bizarre decision. We'll never understand it. But yeah, I think Mo looked good. I think whenever he picked up the ball on the right hand side, he was doing good to kind of link it up and trying to kind of dink it back, and obviously try and find opportunities for himself to have a shot. And Szoboszlai as well. I think Szoboszlai kept it nice and calm. I think he didn't try and rush anything. He was just trying to move it about and try and find openings to have a shot. And there were about 3 opportunities where you'd see him on the edge of the box.
Yeah, some quick 1-2s and things like that.
Exactly. Right? Trying to open up an opportunity. And then obviously finally around the 90th minute, he got his opportunity and he scored.
Yeah, man. And I guess, Grizz, in terms of Szoboszlai, obviously first 10 games, one of the best impacts I've seen in a Liverpool shirt in terms of joining. Obviously, then had a period where probably wasn't used to the physical load that the Premier League and just the calendar playing for Liverpool asks of you. Had the injury which forced him to stop, but he's almost been forgotten about, right? This is going to be a key player for us in that run-in. And what are the reasons do you think that make him such a key player? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, Grizz.
Brother, I think you make a very good point that a lot of people have forgotten about Szoboszlai. He's been out, and you have to remember, I was reading somewhere that this is his just only us, innit? This is his first serious injury in his career. How mad is that? Like, he comes to
classic.
Liverpool. It's classic.
No, he got flogged him at the start of the season, though. We were seeing him Carabao Cup, flipping Europa League group
100%.
stages.
And then think about the amount of games versus 10 men.
Brother, he played a
Bro,
double
we
pivot
played the
with
first
Harvey
half
Elliott.
games.
Yeah, crazy.
But it was also a necessity that he gets into the rhythm, because midfield is key for us, right? And we know. So you could see both sides of the story, but I was so glad, Mush. The other day, when he made his cameo, who did we play? Yesterday, a few days ago. Whenever he came on. Forest. Bro, he looked so mongoose, man. He was finished, man. I thought, bro, yeah. Go back and get back some rhythm on the training ground or something, because you don't even look like a footballer. Today, just before he scored, I was about to tweet, he's looking much better. He looked more active. He looked like he needs to be more sharp. He knows what's around the corner. He knows what's ensuing for the last couple of months. And he knows he's going to be crucial, because coming to your second part of your question, he brings energy and power and drive to our midfield. He's not the cleanest on the ball always. He's not the most... He is technically gifted, but he can have off days where he looks clumsy.
Yeah.
But one thing he doesn't lack is energy and drive and power. And we need that, especially, dare I say it, on Sunday, because we know they've got a certain... Then we know they've got a certain lab experiment in that central midfield, man. That's just... he's just an experiment that's just gone right. Not wrong, gone right. And I think Szoboszlai is much needed. I'm so happy that he looks close to being... resembling the Szoboszlai that we saw.
I think he needs to play a 90-minute game in 60 minutes, basically. You just need to get as much out of him in like 60, because he's not going to be able to do 90. He definitely won't be able to do 90,
100%.
but you need to get as much out of him as possible, pause. So it'd have to be a 60-minute game. And then you bring on Elliot, who's usually better in the second half anyway.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of Szoboszlai, in terms of that City game in particular, what do you think he's going to help solve in terms of the problems that City pose?
It's the application and the kind of willingness to defend. I think obviously he's got a threat on the ball, and we know that Ederson is great with his feet. But I could see a little long ranger going in from 30 yards against him, definitely. But
I would love it. I would love it.
Like KopEnd as well. That would hit differently. But I think we're going to need people. There's going to be times in this game where we're going to have like all hands on deck. And one thing I like about him is that he's a midfielder who's just not scared to go the other way and get involved in defending as well. So we'll definitely need that. We'll need his presence and energy as well, which I think someone like Harvey might struggle with. The intensity of the game in the first 15, 20 minutes. You don't want him to be getting bypassed in there. So I think Szoboszlai, like Fahy said, brother, just give us an hour. Give us 1 hour. Then we can kind of make changes from there. But yeah, he's going to be important. I'm glad he got a goal, and I'm glad he got some minutes in his legs, because he's definitely I think he's going to start on Sunday. I think he's going to have to start. I think it's going to be probably him, Endo, McAllister in the midfield.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys. I feel quite confident in that midfield going up against City.
I think it's the best midfield we have. I don't know if anyone feels differently.
I feel different.
No, I mean, obviously, if you have Curtis, then I'll play Curtis. But...
Oh, yeah. See, I forget. These players keep getting injured.
I know. But the thing is, though, if Curtis we're saying is available, fit,
who comes out?
Are we dropping Endo?
Listen.
Nah, Szoboszlai.
That's my samurai right there, man.
You take Szoboszlai.
For me, I'm not just playing Endo for Endo. I'm playing him for McAllister as well, to get McAllister further forward.
Yeah. Great point.
We're seeing a different player right now. He's looking top.
See what I'm saying about the missing players? Like we've just mentioned, we're so glad that Szoboszlai's back. Nunez, Mole, everything. Curtis Jones, we just slipped our mind. Like nearly 55.
Trent. We're not even talking about Trent. Trent's been out for what, 2 months, nearly.
Trent as well. Alisson, the best keeper in the world.
I mean, you say that thing about the midfield, yeah, to a much bigger degree, I guess, when you look at Madrid. Even when I looked at their Champions League game yesterday, for example, you're choosing between Cruz, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Bellingham, and Modric. Not all of them can play at the same time. It's a great problem to have, right? Because, like Isha said, at the hour, you should be able to bring quality on. Obviously, there's times like now where players aren't available. But I guess let's move on to City properly, right? In terms of what we actually expect to see happen. Comments, I'd love a score prediction from you. We will go into probably more what you think will unfold tactically in this game. Fahy, you're a man who I would say, you're a man, honestly, knowing you for how long I've known you, you actually do well to keep quite a level head, and you speak without emotions when you give your thoughts. So how do you think the game will unfold? And it doesn't need to be the answer everyone wants to hear.
I think it's going to be an interesting game. But I feel like City will go for it. I think City will.
Do you think?
Yeah, and shall I tell you why? They will look at our team and be like, this is the best opportunity we're going to get in front at Anfield, in front of a full crowd, to beat these guys in a title chase in a game. Because obviously, usually the only time they beat us is a 4-1 in recent times, and that was an empty stadium. I think they're going to look at that defense, and then we're going to look, we're going to go after Bradley, we're going to go after Robbo or Gomez, whoever it is, and that's what we're going to aim for, because they can see the amount of chances we do end up conceding in general, right? And let's be honest for a second, City have a much better shot conversion rate than any other team that we faced recently. So for that reason alone, I feel like they will go for it. That being said, I do think we will be able to counter them really, really well. And I think the one thing we're going to look for is get it to Mac, and Mac ping it in front of Darwin. That is going to be the aim. The only thing we need to make sure is when Darwin is running through on goal, that someone is beside him, just in case. That's the only thing I'll say. So I think it's going to be a very, very interesting game. And I think it's going to be end-to-end football. It won't be the prettiest, most classiest game of football, but it's gonna be a slobber knocker. That is what it's gonna be.
A what?
Logger knocker.
A
What word?
slobber knocker. Ish knows what that means.
I
They
don't
are,
know
baby.
what that means.
Yeah, man. That's
Can we like
Real
share?
raps,
Like,
that is.
can you relay it to all of us?
Want to bring us in? What's
Can you
going
bring
on?
us in? Like we're brothers now. We're family. Come on.
A slobber knocker is like a Texan way of describing a very good clash.
machine for machine.
Oh,
It's
like a
machine
blow,
machine
blow
for
for
machine,
blow
basically.
kind of.
That's it.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of those American terms like
There we go. Yeah.
Slobber
A
knocker,
slobber knocker.
truckers. Like truckers talk to each other like that. Probably, maybe. I don't know.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's gonna be end to end, bro. I think it's gonna be a really exciting game. I'm shook. I'm not gonna lie. I am shook. I'm more than happy with the draw. I just don't want to
Okay,
lose.
interesting.
I want to make sure
Ish, you're not taking a draw.
We have to win.
If
bro.
it's guaranteed,
We have to-
if I can guarantee you a point or risk losing all three.
You take the draw. Man.
I'll take the risk. No, I'll take the risk. I think
Serious?
we
Wow.
beat City.
You're a
Yeah,
sicko.
because I'll tell you what. We cannot rely on the rest of the teams in the rest of the league to do us favors in this title race. Like the league stinks. I'm so sorry.
Arsenal.
Look, Man United are still sick at the moment. And look how much they stink. The league absolutely stinks. Look at the teams in the bottom three as well. I think if we want to go win this league,
So we have
already
to
didn't
decide
beat
our
Arsenal.
fate, basically.
we have to. We already didn't beat Arsenal over 2 games this season. Annoyingly, we have to beat City. Because then we're relying on Arsenal to go to the Etihad as well. We don't know what's going to happen there. Their record there is pretty poor. I think if we really are serious about this title, we have to beat City, and I think we will.
Okay, fair enough. Grizz, what about you? Where are you? You seem
I'm
to
taking-
be you seem to be taken aback when Ish said that he would want to go for it. So does that mean you don't want us to go for it?
No. Going for it is different. No. I'm just saying if that scenario was put to me, only because of the state of our squad, I'm taking a point. If we were full optimum levels, I'm not taking a point. We bury them with the 60,000, with Anfield, with Klopp, everything. We have to, I don't know, man. We have to balance it all up. They're absolutely peak. Only Grealish is missing, and I don't even think he gets into
Why
the
is
team
this
right
must
now.
win? I'm fascinated in the comments to know why it's must win.
Because what Ish said really kind of, you can make sense of what Ish said as well.
I
Like,
can.
if we're
I
going to
get
do
it.
it, like, do it
How many
ourselves. This
times?
is our chance.
How many times have we been crying out for the
Other teams
Anfield
to-
tie? No, for the Anfield tie to be later on in the season. Every year is we go to Etihad in April. Oh, we'll take a draw.
Mm.
Like this is perfectly set up for us. If we don't beat them and then Arsenal beat them, you look at it and you're
But
thinking,
it's not perfectly set up, though, is it? 3 of our best players are out.
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm watching
Potentially
City. and
Four.
I'm
Yeah,
watching
like-
City, and I'm sorry, City are not moving me.
No,
like
I
they
get
have
it.
done
City
in
aren't
previous
great.
seasons.
City don't look great. City don't look
I
great.
saw United.
We
get
keep
3-1,
saying
3-1.
that. We keep saying they don't look great.
Listen, they can
but
beat us. They definitely can beat
They
us.
say that
I'm not
about us
watching
as
City.
well, though. They say we don't look great.
We don't look great. Everyone's been saying
Yeah.
about us from the start of
But
the season.
what's the equalizer? Anfield. Klopp's last home run. Like, come on, guys.
Ooh!
This for me.
Ooh, I'm
we have
feeling
to-
it,
we have
Ish.
to- we have to win it. We
Ah,
have to
come
win it.
on.
We have to win this. We have to win it.
Before we quickly go on, Wolves channel member, big up Wolves fan. Says their 2 favourites left in the FA Cup. Remaining 6 are underdogs, but Wolves need first goal since 1960. Good luck to you guys.
I like
you,
Wolves.
you still got to play you still got to play us last game of the season. I won't like
Do
you
us
in the
a
last
favour,
day of the
man.
season, but apart from that, I love you guys. So big up, bro.
Just give us that.
We got them last game of the season again.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
They
As
always give
always.
us a game as well. Always give us a game.
Oh, I guess I should give some of my thoughts just before we head off. I think personally, there's only I want this story of what this team. This is not Liverpool, Mane, Firmino, Salah every week with the best 11 available every week. The story is already magical, and I personally think that even if this team manage a draw, the season can still continue to be amazing as long as we escape without damage. Because I personally think Arsenal and City, based on their fixtures, have other banana skins coming. Whereas Liverpool, I think we can manage our fixtures a bit better. So Arsenal have to go away to United, away to Tottenham, away to City. I can see points being dropped there. I think it's only logical.
I don't
Mush.
think.
Brother,
people
they're
are
going
saying
to
our
click
run is
this up
easy.
and use this against you.
Mush.
I don't mind.
We go Man City.
Yeah.
We go away to Man United, Everton, Fulham,
West
West
Ham.
Ham.
Look at the teams I said. Look at the teams you said.
Bro,
Bro,
people
the
are making
teams-
out like our running
and
easy,
Villa.
you know? Our running,
And
our
Villa.
running's
I
not
didn't
easy.
say our running was easy, but we
But
can't
people are
deny.
saying it's the easiest of the.
It's
I
not
still
the
don't even
easiest.
think it's.
I think
they're
it's
all
balanced.
Kind of balanced, yeah.
I think they're all balanced. I genuinely
The only
believe
thing is,
that.
I think we've got I think we've got more home games. That's it. But otherwise,
I don't know.
No,
Man.
it's 5 and 6.
Yeah,
Well,
everyone's
our
got.
or
Everyone's
our
got 4 away games, but our away games
are
aren't hard.
like they're easier on paper.
I think
I
they're
don't
very.
know.
I think they're very level. You know, I think it's tense all the way. One slip up, and that's why I kind of get where Ish is going with that. If we put a win, it's a 6-pointer. Do you get it? Like,
Yeah. Because it
We've
swings
got-
both teams.
and then what do we want in the Arsenal game? Arsenal,
What-
Man City.
I would want Arsenal to beat City, you know.
Same, because I think Arsenal drop points elsewhere. I think
I
Spurs
would
and
want
places
Arsenal
like
to beat
that, they'll
City.
draw.
Yeah, they've got to go
Okay.
to Wolves, Brighton,
They look
Spurs, and
formidable
United.
right now. They look formidable right now.
Grizz, did anyone, when we beat the same teams they've beaten in Sheffield United, Luton, and Burnley, did anyone say we look formidable? I don't know why Arsenal have suddenly become the best team to have ever lived for beating the same teams we beat.
I'm just saying. Okay.
We don't
I'm just saying.
we don't get credit for it. We deserve more credit. But anyway, with a range of cliffhangers set up by the boys,
Ooh.
I want to thank everyone for joining us today.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, a lot to talk about, a lot of ups, downs, positives, negatives. There's all sorts going on, but we are in this journey together, guys. We are hoping for the same outcome. I hope to see you next week with the biggest smile on my face. And I want the thirst of Ramadan to be fed with that City 3 points. That's what I want. But I want to thank all of you. I want to thank Ish. I want to thank Fahi. I want to thank Grizz. Subscribe, leave us a like, follow KopEndFracas on the main pod as well. Be there, support us because we will support you back. Thank you and peace out.
Big 6.